Roulette.
That's right. Schoolbus showed pretty strongly in the Wargaming League in previous years, but had a bit of an upset last year, apparently.
That's true, that's true. Top seed EU from Schoolbus. Schoolbus have a long history. First, in Season 1 EU, they finished second. In the second season, they finished first. In the fourth season, they finished first in EU. In the fifth season, they finished second. But last year at the Grand Finals, whereas we were just casting Virtus finished second. Earlier on in the day, we were casting Na'Vi. Those were the two teams that were in the finals of last year's grand event. Schoolbus, on the other hand, went out in the group stages, I believe, finishing 14th. Now, they've had a great presence in the Rumble in the West.
That's right.
Where they finished first. I think it's going to be a case of, can they step up to this grand stage? This, for me, is a very exciting game to see how the top seed of EU are going to go in for it.
Can they regain their former glory? They've been out of it. They've had a bad year. But, you know, they're not a team you can discount. I mean, first and second in the previous 4 seasons.
They have a heritage, don't they?
Yeah.
They got a heritage. And they're playing against Roulette, which is the North American seed. They finished first in the 4th season of North America, and in 5th season they went out in the playoffs. Let's take a look at some of the results. So, Schoolbus finished against Yato Gaming. They finished 5 points to 2. What a result there. And this is going to be Roulette's first game. Roulette's first game of the day. So Schoolbus, they've gone on, they've got the nerves out, they've finished top, they've had a good result.
Convincing win against Yato Gaming. Now they've got to do the same thing against Roulette. And Roulette have to play a final match after that.
And that, I'll tell you what that's going to be. If Schoolbus do conquer Roulette here,
it's going to put
the
their backs up
European
against the
team
wall.
conquer the North American team, but we're not going to go on about
Come
that.
on, North America.
Go on, North America. What that will mean is that the final game of the day, Yato and Roulette, will have a knockout. That'll be one team goes home.
That's right, yeah. Well, that'll be a tense match.
So here we go. We're going to be taking a look at the Schoolbus hype video.
We're not the first time in Poland. We like it very much. People are very responsive and like tanks very much. So it's always fun to play in front of the Polish crowd and always nice to be here. We made these t-shirts after we decided to become a school bus, and after thinking about what we want to wear, we decided that we wanted to do something unique that nobody did before and make our t-shirts to look like we made them as our homework to fit the style of our team. We're not scared of anybody in this tournament and we're ready for anything. If we're careful and we do everything as planned, we will win.
So you heard it from Schoolbus. They are willing to have a laugh at themselves.
Right. I like Schoolbus.
They wanted to do something unique, so they drew their own T-shirts.
That's right. Yeah.
All these other teams, you saw Na'Vi's entrance. They were walking in their hype helicopter.
That's right. Yeah, helicoptered in.
Yeah.
Walking through the smoke. I expected a Michael Bay-style explosion behind them as they came in through the doors, but there's Schoolbus just...
Schoolbus, they've got a slight smirk on their faces, as we can see here. They're having a good time, and it looks like they're a fairly solid team. Now, remember, their global ranking is coming in 5th. I believe these are the results from the previous season, the one where they didn't have the best result in. I've been led to believe, yes, they finished 2nd in Season 5. They got 51% wins, 49% defeats. Now, while that might not look as impressive,
but
as
you've got to consider the competition that they're playing against. These aren't random battle results.
These aren't.
No.
Exactly. These are not the same kind of results that we've seen from some of the Asia and Australia regions, where they've been coming in with 76% win ratios and they get rolled over by Na'Vi.
That's
We'll
right.
see what Schoolbus are capable of doing.
So yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
Yes.
I don't want to just declare for Schoolbus right now, but I like their style.
Yeah, they do look rather impressive. So we're going to now take a look at their opposition, the North American seed, Roulette.
our goal is to have fun, see how well we do, see how well we compare to other teams, and just go from there. As I said, we have no pressure to perform well, so we're the underdog, so we can only surprise people. The best aspect of our team play is probably our ability to adapt to the situations. We can do whatever we want, however we want. Like if something breaks down, it doesn't matter. We'll figure something out and just go with it. The biggest strengths is our camaraderie, how well we perform together, how well we get along with each other, how well we understand each other, and just our team play in general. Not really. Nothing scares us because we have no pressure on us. How well we perform, that's up to us. Whatever happens, happens. It's not like we have to perform to a certain level.
Thank you! 10 out of 10 for the most creative finishing move. It's like they're about to cast some spell on you. That was, whoa, I think it was.
I thought, what's
fantastic.
this, North America? It looks like the All Blacks from New Zealand. About to go into a haka at the end of it, but no.
The second seed from the North American server, Roulette. Are they going to pull the trigger here on Schoolbus? We shall have to see.
Yeah.
They're kind of taking themselves more seriously, but I don't think they're like as... I don't feel like they're really as full of themselves as maybe some of the other teams that are coming into here.
A little bit of humility there, I think.
Coming in, globally ranked at 6th, they have a lower win and loss ratio, 48% wins and 52% defeats. And they seem to also favor defense there, 53% of their victories having come when they've defended. And not quite reaching that magic number of 100 battles, hey Jingles, 99.
Not quite. I think we'll get there tonight, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We've got at least 5 games, possibly 9 coming up.
That's right.
We had a very exciting first match. This is going to be the second match that me and Jingles are going to be casting for you.
I have to admit, when I saw that the way that Schoolbus had designed their own T-shirts, I was thinking, how can you not love that? But when I saw one of the guys on Roulette was called Game is Rigged.
Just don't know. We don't really mind as long as somebody wins.
Exactly. Don't know who to shout for.
So let's see the head-to-head. So fantastic. We have Schoolbus versus Roulette. There's your favourite team names, is it? You're saying, who's your favourite guy? Vankum loves Taffy. I can see these guys. Game is Rigged. Valera Desolator. Yurka Mola and Akolov. And abrasive could be even, yeah. I don't know why I put it into an accent there. Fantastic. All right, now we're going to move into the players. Here we go. So, Game is Rigged. That's your favourite guy, Jingles.
He's the best guy in the tournament.
I have to admit, his damage is quite low, though, Jingles. 4,300. I believe that is the lowest average damage we have seen so far
it's the lowest I've
this
seen.
tournament. Whereas Griffon from Schoolbus is sporting a very healthy 6k.
But look at his spots. 74 versus 23. So what position does he play on the team?
He plays at the front, doesn't he? Game is rigged.
That's right.
So he goes in.
So he goes straight in.
If he dies, game is rigged. It's basically how it goes down. You've got a winning name there, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely my favourite player of the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't care about his stats. He's got the best name. Game is rigged.
Okay. Good. We're going to have more favourite names in the tournament.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye open for that. Let us know. Let us know on Twitter what you think.
So who do you think is going to come through with the win here?
Yeah, well, the win for the best name is definitely going. I don't know. Seriously. I mean, again, it's one of those things. You look at Schoolbus.
Let's at least have a little bit of a prediction.
Sure. I'm going to go for Schoolbus.
Okay.
But then again, I would have gone for Virtus Pro in the last set.
Yeah.
Based purely on their stats.
I'm going for Schoolbus here, a team with lots of they've got a heritage behind them. I think that they're going to come into this strong, and if they can step up like they did at the Rumble in the East, wasn't it?
Rumble in the West.
The Rumble in the West. That'll be a very impressive situation if they can do as well as they did there.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to go into our map, our first map, which will be steps.
Oh.
So, Jingles, your favourite position on steps?
I don't really. Well,
Okay, well, for me, one of the cap circles is where the encounter cap is in the random games. Do you see
yeah,
that?
right there.
Yeah.
I like that position, but you need a lot of backup down there.
That's true.
In a random battle. Here, I don't know.
What kind of tanks do you think we're going to be seeing? I personally think we're
it's
going to
gonna
see T-54 lightweights,
Yeah,
maybe also
yeah.
some other light tanks, maybe some 1390s will come in.
Possibly some
I
1390s.
feel like this map, you have an opportunity to get those 1 versus 1 engagements more.
Also, Steps is the kind of map where if anybody's going to use artillery, it's going to be on this map.
That's true. Completely open map, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run.
That's
Artillery
exactly.
will be coming for you.
But, you know, if the enemy team are all in light tanks, I mean,
Can you
if you're
hit
seeing
them?
things like T-32s using the hold down positions on Steps, then yeah, you're going to want artillery to deal with them. But if, as we're seeing, what seems to be happening game after game tonight, it's just the light tank, tier 8 light tank meta. Is artillery going to be that much useful against them? Because, you know, you spot them and then they're on you, and that, you know, they're just too close to risk a shot. So yeah,
I personally feel like on this map, there's a lack of pivotal locations where perhaps a T-32 could be used. I feel like it's very much an open map, which is open to flanking. And the faster team, with the light tanks, might be able to get round the T-32 and negate that frontal and also turret armor. Then maybe it'll become a DPM race. Whether that happens or not is another question. I'd quite like to see an artillery here. We saw Na'Vi is the only team that has brought out an artillery so far, they went 5-0.
Yeah.
Whether or not that was because of their skill.
Was it because they had artillery, or was it because it was Na'Vi? I think it's probably because it was Na'Vi.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So here we go. We are going to get into our first game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be EU-NA rivalry. So it begins. I want to hear it in Twitch chat. EU-NA.
We have RT.
Who's EU and who's NA
Let's see
in
it
the
in
Twitch chat? I want to see your names.
And, wow.
So the attacking team has picked an artillery.
That's right, they have an M44, tier 6 artillery.
So to go with that, they also have a Speerpanzer and 5 T-54 lightweights. This is against a T-32. Ah, wow. So the T-32 is going to take a defensive position. But look at this. Schoolbus are playing very aggressively to take the western part of the map. The rest of the team composition on Roulette is 4 T-54 lightweights, T-37, along with a Speerpanzer. So where is that artillery going to go? You can see that the speed of that artillery is very fast, that M44,
It's not
isn't
bad,
it?
is it?
Just keeping up with the T-54 lightweights. They're going to get him to the north, where he can hide up in the mountains.
That's right.
And then use him to rain death upon their opponents.
That's basically what they're doing here. They're just providing a mobile screen for the M44 so we can get into cover. You know, one of them stayed back to cover the rear because here they come out of the road in the middle. They've broken cover.
I think they've caught the artillery here, Jingles. Is the T-32 going to press on? Are the T-54s going to create a crossfire? Do you see this area at F2, F3? That is a very important ground for them to
they're not pursuing.
go.
They're just occupying that ground. They're taking the ridge line.
We can see that there is a kill zone across the whole of the map, which Roulette have to cross if they want to get Schoolbus's artillery. And if not, maybe Schoolbus's artillery can do some work and make some plays. I am not experienced in that position in artillery. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get any shots off, considering the position that Roulette has taken. But what we might be seeing here is Schoolbus continuing to flank around to put pressure on the cap circle towards the east, and then to create a crossfire as Roulette have to go across the east to defend.
In fact, I think I saw them. No, they're not going for it. Not just yet. But they've completely swapped positions.
Yeah.
Both teams have swapped sides on the map. Roulette went straight down the middle and then hooked west.
Remember again that Roulette are defending. It is in their interest to just hold
That's
on.
right. They can't afford to lose tanks. The M44's gone.
Well, there you go. He was spotted and he was easy pickings for this T-32.
Just noticed. I didn't actually see it when it happened. I was watching something else. So, well, first match we've seen with artillery, didn't actually do a lot.
They needed to get the artillery over that railroad that you see that spreads from the C1 line to the A5 line. They had to get him over this railway right here that is being shown. They needed to get the artillery up into this position, but they were unable to do so. Looks like the artillery tried to make a run for it, knowing that his demise was imminent, and he was just unable to do so.
We're watching Nuclear now. T-54 lightweight making a run trying to spot and get some flanking. Oh, he's paid for it, but he managed to do some damage. But it's not the target he was going for. He's trying to dislodge that T-32, put pressure on him and make him fall back.
A 1-for-1 trade, but look what Roulette have in the southeast corner of the map. That is a T-37, yes?
Is that
T-37 light tank.
Yes, yes it is, yes.
T-37 light tank in the southeast corner that has good gun depression, and the gun on that is very impressive.
It's not bad at all.
With the APCR rounds that tank does get, it will be able to melt the size of the T-54 lightweights.
They are putting pressure on the T-32 now. He's taken significant... Oh, that was a... What gun is he using? It is the big 105, isn't it?
I haven't quite seen the alpha damage, but that T-54 lightweight takes a massive hit, 460, as Abrasive tries to push over to be able to use the gun depression of the T-54. But look at this, Roulette
look at them
doing
coming
a
in.
massive attack from the west, but look at the counter moves
Exactly
by Griffin here. Griffin has the side of the Speerpanzer. Fantastic play by Griffin. He's slowing them down as Roulette tried to press in through the west. The T-34 is taking round after round after round into the back of his tank, and he will be going down.
He's gone.
And this is a real intense round. Schoolbus are showing their experience in taking the lead in hit points massively at the end of this game. They are now over 3 times the hit points of their opponents. They've only lost 1 tank. They are simply dominating. It is now 1 versus 6. They are getting absolutely annihilated.
And the one is the T-37.
So, Schoolbus sacrificed their artillery. They went, hey, you can have him.
Yeah.
It's fine. He's just our little good luck buddy, right?
Wow.
Schoolbus.
That was
convincing attack.
Very, very convincing. And at the end, when Roulette pushed to try to drive a wedge between Schoolbus's defence, and Schoolbus just fell back,
down the west,
circled around, and came up behind them, feinted, drew them into that gap, while one of them peeled off. Didn't even worry about the T-32 behind him because there were 2 other T-54 lightweights on him, and then just peeled up, came around the rock, and suddenly you're pursuing them, and now suddenly you're caught in the crossfire. Beautiful move.
It looked like what we said, that the T-32 just couldn't find that dominant
That's
position.
Right. Yeah.
It was... he was kind of just slipping down that slope, just getting nailed in the side by the T-54 lightweights. Completely useless use of that tank. But his hand was forced. He had to go and defend his friends. He had to fight for them. Otherwise, they would have simply gone down together. That was a lovely try at an attack by Roulette.
Yeah, Roulette didn't... I mean, it was a good plan. It almost worked, but there was just that one little move. Right as they were pushing that wedge through, just to the west of the T-32, three T-54 lightweights against 2 T-54 lightweights.
They surrounded them.
Yeah, exactly. 2 tanks surrounded.
3 tanks.
Was it 3?
No. What I'm saying is, it's 2 tanks surrounded 3.
Surrounded 3. Yeah, and practically. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but it was almost as if 2 tanks just surrounded and outnumbered 3.
Yeah.
They dominated
tracks.
them. They stopped them in their tracks. It was great. It was great to
Maybe
watch.
they thought. Do you remember the T-54 light that was behind those 3 tanks?
Yes.
That the T-32 was going to be able to take him out because he was exposed to that T-32, at least from what I saw in it. Perhaps they had a miscommunication. Maybe
T-32 his gun was pointing the other way because he saw 2 T-54 lightweights.
They needed to secure that
harassing
flank
him.
and then continue to push in.
That if the T-32 a couple of seconds earlier had backed up those 2 T-54 lightweights, I'm not saying it will, but it might have ended differently. But he would have probably still lost the T-32, but he would have given the rest of his T-54 lightweights a chance against the other 2 T-54 lightweights that came in, because they needed to nail those 2 that they were trying to drive the wedge between first. And instead, one of them fell back, delayed them, and the other one swept around and just, hi, I'm behind you. While the T-32 was going, what? And now I'm dead.
So a dominant performance from the EU #1 seed, unless I'm mistaken, versus Roulette, the seed 2 from North America.
Right. Yeah, a good performance for Roulette, I have to say.
It was a close game. It was
a close
evenly
game.
fought. Although when you think about it, they had 6 tanks left alive at the end, but it didn't seem like it was that.
No,
it was close and tense.
Yeah.
Before the ending, and then Schoolbus just went ahead and they didn't stop rolling towards their goal.
That's right. And again, when you've only got 7 tanks against 7 tanks, when things start to go wrong, they go wrong very, very quickly in these kind of tournaments.
That was just a fantastic game. I
It
can't
was
wait
good.
for some more.
Yeah, want to see how Roulette are going to answer that one.
What do you think about the artillery pick? Happen again?
We'll see.
So, well, we don't
They
need
are
to
going
wait.
for the artillery pick again.
Because they've gone for it, as Jingles has pointed out. So Schoolbus on the attack again. So far 1-0 to the attacking team, Schoolbus. Let's see how Roulette respond in this engagement.
See if the teams are going to swap positions again the same way they just did.
I think Roulette are going to try again to get their...
Roulette are sending most of the team down the middle again.
I think that Schoolbus are going to try and get that artillery towards the north again.
Yeah.
I think Roulette realise what Schoolbus are doing now that they've spotted the artillery. Well, they haven't spotted him immediately, but they know he's on the enemy team.
Yeah. So far, 2 of Schoolbus have been spotted, both T-50. Applewell and Shanish.
So,
third.
Schoolbus clustered in one position.
Oh, Nuclear just took a hit and lost his ammo rack, I think.
He's put it
He's
straight
repaired it.
back in. But yeah, he's got to watch out. If he gets a module damage again, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Maybe Schoolbus can actually use the M44 from this position. What do you think, Jingles?
They're going to need to defend him, but yes, they should be able to use it
Look,
from that
he's
spot.
leading. He's leading. The M44 is leading the rush up towards the north. I think they're going to try and get him across. Can they get past that T-32's gun? Can they get past the T-54 lightweight that has him in position? This is going to be a big moment when we see the M44 driven by Arclet, whether he can get onto the north of the map, or maybe he's just satisfied there. Maybe he can pull off some shots from where he is.
It looks like he's pretty much digging in that spot. Now, if he's in that spot, which flag are they going to go for?
If the artillery is in the west,
Yeah.
I don't think they're in a position right now to go for the cap. I think what they're hoping, I think what they're hoping is that Roulette are going to make another aggressive play, and that Schoolbus can make the counter attack. Remember that Roulette are defending.
That's right. So it's in their interest to wait and let the game develop.
Last game, fair enough, Schoolbus took the aggressive position, but even Roulette killed the artillery, but they still decided to attack anyway. They neutralized the artillery, but then they just went in. Holy moly, as they take out the T-37 light tank on that team. Tono Jib is now out of it.
And they're pursuing the guys that tried to flank down the middle. No, they're not taking the bait. They're falling back. They're concentrating the firepower.
So 4.5 minutes left on the game, and Schoolbus still have yet to commit to any one flank.
That's right.
Their artillery is now very much by himself up on that northwest corner until Griffin comes back and looks after him.
Now, what are Roulette doing? Are they just falling back to consolidate, or are they pushing around there? Oh, they totally anticipated that, didn't
There's the T-32. He is not in a full hold down position, so he takes 500 damage. But a nice snapshot there. It looks like he might be using 105mm.
I think he is, yes.
So this is really an all-in kind of engagement here. Roulette have taken the north. Remember, they're the defending team. Nuclear is going one-on-one with the T-32. This is a very big moment. Who is going to win the T-54 or the T-32? As the cameraman switches away to look to Arclet in the M44, but he goes back. There's our one-on-one engagement. Is the T-32 or the T-54 lightweight going to win? It's a one-shot. Oh, it's really close.
He's got him.
T-54. Is he going to win?
He's got him.
Nuclear takes him down.
However,
Arclet is still in the game. Look at this. Skulking artillery in the corner. Dynamo
he did. He
Amarak.
killed. He got a kill.
got a kill.
He got scored a kill.
And
now he's trying to ram the T-54 lightweight. You superstar.
What an artillery player.
Wow, look at that.
Fantastic.
And it's over.
That's it.
As fast as that.
Well, that's it. We saw that the T-54 lightweight won a 1-versus-1 with the T-32.
With the 105mm guns, just had the superior rate of fire. And manoeuvrability, clearly.
And then the artillery pulls off a good shot.
And
then proceeds to ram himself while he's reloading into the only remaining tank on the enemy team.
No fear. My kind of artillery player.
That's how it's done. Fantastic play to that gentleman. So, attacking team wins again.
So,
is this an attacking map, or is this just Schoolbus EU superiority?
Well, it's those T-shirts, isn't it?
If you are willing to draw your own T-shirt,
that's right,
at this competition,
and if you can stand there in front of a camera and just make funny noises with your mouth, like when you're being filmed for the Wargaming League Grand Finals, then you have to win.
It has to be a fan favourite.
Those are the rules.
I'm pretty sure that people in the chat are going to be seriously getting behind Schoolbus, at least from the EU region.
Yeah.
I think they might be my favourites for just personality with a mix of skill as well coming into the game.
I think Schoolbus have got to be very, very pleased with their performance so far. They're definitely back on form.
They're 2-0 up, so they have to be, don't they?
But Roulette, they haven't been playing badly either. They've just
Not quite been there.
quite been there the way that Schoolbus have. It's, you can't really criticise much in their performance either. They've just not been able to seal the deal the way Schoolbus have.
So Schoolbus is set up. Was it 60 54 lightweights and then an artillery?
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yes.
It was. Okay, so T54 lightweight meta coming in very strongly there.
It's getting kind of boring a little though. I want to see more tanks. I mean, I like to see the T32, but it didn't do very well on that match, did it?
Yeah.
Didn't do particularly well on the match before that either.
We were saying that on this map, that it's a very open map, free-flowing. The T32 finds it very hard to hold locations and then be able to deal with it.
And it's got more health, but why would you want a health sponge when you can have another T54 lightweight?
The thing is when the T54 lightweight manages to get round to the side and the rear of the T32, its armor isn't an advantage.
No, exactly.
However, if he had had support,
that would have been a completely different matter.
He could have taken the shots for his team.
And he eventually did get support, but
too late.
A little bit too late.
So what we really need to see here is those heavy tanks working with the support of other tanks as well.
Yes.
If they get separated and turn it into a one-on-one engagement, then a skilled player in a light tank is very likely to pull off a tracking shot, get round the T32, and if he tracks him twice, there's nothing.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing the T32 can do against the caliber of players that these gentlemen are.
And I just love setting T29s and T32s on fire with engine shots from T37s, so... Yeah.
So far, 2 attacks.
Yeah.
2 wins.
Yep.
What do you see happening now? Do you think Roulette can do the same, or do you think that Roulette are going to lose the games?
I'd like to see this, but then again, it's 2 attacks, 2 wins. But the first thing that the teams did, both times, was immediately swap positions. So, was one team really attacking?
I think that's maybe just the meta of Schoolbus on this map, or maybe it's just the overall meta. I guess we'll see here, depending on what Roulette wants to do.
Now that things have been switched around,
So it's just a great combination of the artillery and the T54 lightweights on this map, very open.
So Roulette, come on. We know you can do it. You've got a guy called Game is Rigged on the team, right?
Yeah.
You can't lose because the game is... Oh, oops.
Because the game is rigged.
But, come on. I'd like to see them pull one back. And they can
we don't want a
do
5-0, do we?
We don't want a 5-0. We want to be able to talk about the game. We don't have to say, all right, okay, so back in half an hour because they just won 5-0. We want to see Roulette win a couple.
Come on, Roulette. It's time to stand up.
Come on. Okay, Schoolbus. I'm not supporting you anymore. Come on, Roulette. Come on, North America.
We get some NA. NA is greater than EU in the Twitch chat.
That's right.
So here we go. We are going to be going into round 3. This is make or break for Roulette. They have to step up now. And let's see what their picks are going to be.
Same.
So,
Same for Schoolbus.
Schoolbus
that's right. They
this
have an
time.
RU251.
Oh, was that it? They had the RU as well previously?
Actually, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think
well,
they did,
now I know that Roulette are no longer taking that T32 that they previously had, so that's
a good decision.
So now they are using 5 T54 lightweights, a Speerpanzer, and a T37 Tier 6 American light tank. There's still the artillery. It looks like Arclit is a serious artillery player.
It looks like the two teams are on a bit of a collision course here.
Yeah.
They've left Tonajib.
This time, however, we've seen Schoolbus. Remember, Schoolbus are defending with artillery now, Jingles.
That's right.
Whoa, some big hits there into that T54 lightweight.
Oh, Vorsic there.
Vorsic
really wishing he was somewhere else.
Yeah. Let's see if their artillery can make some hits. This is Arclit's opportunity to really make the difference for his team. He needs to hit the shells now while they're not in close quarter situations. So just light damage taken by either side. But we see that Roulette are taking a slight advantage now. But that difference can be more than made up for by just a couple of hits.
Oh, yeah. There's a one-shot difference here at the moment. Now, what's Tonajib doing all the way down there? He's just watching.
I like what Schoolbus are doing. They're actually defending.
Yeah.
I feel like defending is an advantage, especially when a team gets into a position like Roulette and then stops. From most of the games that we've seen, where teams have been fairly evenly balanced, if a team gets into this position and then they don't attack once they've got there, generally they go on to lose.
It's looking like they're just trying to probe the defences and look for a weak spot.
As Shanish lost his gunner.
Middle of the map.
Dead gunner on Shanish.
Oh, yes, he has.
I'm surprised he hasn't put that back in. Maybe he's waiting until he has to shoot again, or maybe he's out for good.
Shanish and FC Dynamo.
Game is rigged. Your favourite player has been taken
I demand
down.
a recon.
It must be rigged.
Steward's inquiry.
As Roulette take quite a lot of damage, unfortunately now they're just trading. It feels like they're just trading, and Schoolbus are out.
And they're already
shooting
behind.
them right now. They are 1,500 hit points behind.
They're just getting outfought.
There has been no clean engagement here. It has just been sniping after sniping after sniping. But Schoolbus are grinding them down.
Schoolbus have just lost 2 tanks though. But it's the only 2 tanks they've lost. And okay. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another win for Schoolbus. Roulette are going to have to pull something special out if they want to get this one. But they just don't have the health left. They have less than 1,000 health between their 2 tanks.
So it seems to be what is happening here is that we see if a team is attacking and they get into position and they falter the attack, they are currently ending up going on and losing.
I don't know.
But it's not as simple as that. It's definitely not as simple as that.
No,
what they can do is they can get into position and then spot where all the remaining tanks are and then change into a different position.
I think we're just seeing better players.
I think Schoolbus are just better.
I do think so. Unless I'm mistaken, I think Roulette are running with a completely new lineup this year as well.
That means that Schoolbus are now 3-0 up.
Yeah, 2
I
more
don't
games.
know about I don't know about Roulette's lineup.
Well, if I'm wrong, it wouldn't be the first time, would it, folks?
But
that's
dominant
what I've heard.
performance.
Yeah, definitely. Schoolbus just showing them who's boss.
I'm right in thinking that Schoolbus won, was it 5-3 earlier? I believe it was 5-3.
I think they did, yes. Yeah. So
This looks like this could be 5-0 unless Roulette step up.
Come on, Roulette. Come on, North America.
We want to see some games. Twitch chat wants to see me and Jingles for more.
That's right. We don't want to just have 5 games and then off. You need.
That's not fair. Come on, Roulette.
You need more Jingles and Quickie Baby. So come on, Roulette.
At the moment,
win some games.
At the moment, it's
do it for us.
At the moment, it's going to be EU greater than NA in the chat all day long. We cannot have that. We cannot have that, Roulette.
No, definitely not.
Stick it to the Europeans and let's go.
That's right.
So what do you think the solution is? What can Roulette do?
They're going to have to just start playing better. I've noticed them faltering a lot.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know if that's... And obviously we can't hear what the team are saying to each other when they're down there on the stage. But I don't know if that's just down to they're not playing as well as a team, or whether or not they're getting conflicting... You know, it's like, okay, we want to pursue these guys, and the captain is saying, no, pull back, blah, blah. And they go, okay, fine. Don't know. But it kind of looks like that might be what's happening. Because, you know, but then again, if Roulette are a completely new lineup this year, which might not be true, it wouldn't be the first time I've gotten my facts wrong, it could just be that they haven't played together enough. They don't know each other's play styles as well as Schoolbus, Virtus Pro, you know, any of the other teams in the tournament.
Seasoned teams with a long heritage.
Guys that have been playing together for a long time. That might just be what we're seeing. We shall have to see.
For me, I think that Roulette just have to commit.
Yeah.
I feel like what they did is they gave away their position.
Yeah.
And they were playing against an artillery.
Yeah.
They let the artillery start to do his work. Maybe that was a thought in their mind as well. They've got an artillery. Maybe we have to play differently. I think maybe what would have been more sensible is if we'd seen them play like an arete earlier on, you know? All in.
Yeah.
Or even just as we just saw...
Yeah, earlier with Virtus Pro.
Or with Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Santa Claus just went in for it.
Yeah, just no guts, no glory.
Well, let's not talk about Santa Claus now. Let's focus on Roulette and
Here we
their
go.
fourth game.
So come on, Roulette. We want more screen time, so you have to win a few games.
This time Roulette are going full T54 lightweights with the T37. Schoolbus having another artillery. That's pretty much the same setup.
It's exactly the same setup. Yeah, they've got the RU-251 and the artillery. Arclet there having a fun time in his M44. And they're trying to head for, different positions this time. Arclet's at the other end of the map.
It still seems to be developing, but Roulette seem to have listened to our suggestion. Let's go, Roulette.
Get over that railway line. kill that guy.
How much do they have to lose to do so, though? They have lost.
They've taken a lot of
They are
damage.
2,000 hit points down, as we see an artillery shell nearly miss. Oh my word!
Arclet's
was that
managed to get
worth
away.
it? They lost so much health.
It feels like it was the right thing to do because, you know, T-54 lightweight, hold down, tough turrets, but they took too much damage doing it.
Schoolbus aimed like professionals. They made them pay for that going in. Oh my word!
They've got more than half. They've got less than half the health.
3,000 more health. This was a drubbing. Dringles, I'm starting to believe what you said about the fact that this might be just
a better team.
A better team. Schoolbus really stepping up.
Do you think we're looking at a 5-0?
I think we are.
It's difficult to argue.
But look at the module damage on those T-54 lightweights. They might have
drivers.
They might have a lot of armor and quite a lot of hit points. But gosh, no protection for the crew.
Can you imagine? If the situation was reversed, Roulette was defending, and all those T-54 lightweights had dead drivers, and they got one tank left, and it's just run away because they have to catch him. Mind you, where can you hide on steps? You know, it's
well. What we just saw is the Arete play, the idea of the Arete tactic of going straight in, just did not work at all.
Trying to put Schoolbus on the back foot and say, right, you know, change the tactics up. See how they react to something unexpected, and they reacted very, very well.
It was, I believe, Hellraisers that we had the pleasure of casting the game for earlier. Hellraisers, they still won. It's worth mentioning they still won, but it was darn close.
Yeah.
It was 4-5 to Hellraisers, Arete getting 4, and that's because they just went in. Do you think Roulette have decided to do this all-in kind of tactic too late?
Well, it's certainly. The thing was, I was looking at when they committed to it and they just all charged, and you could see they needed to get over that railway line. And there was one enemy T-54 lightweight on that side of the railway line. He did not hesitate
to switch.
He switched sides instantly. He saw that train wreck of T-54 lightweights coming towards him, and that cost them because some of them hesitated and stayed on top of the railway line, taking constant flanking shots as they turned their turrets around, trying to get that guy as he pulled out and swapped positions with them. And of course, T-54 lightweights don't have very good gun depression, do they?
Yeah, it's a game-changing
move. And they took
move.
like 2,000 damage between the 5 of them just in that one moment as they were trying to get over that railway line. And that, I think, was where it swung it.
That was probably one of the best plays that we've seen so far today. That T-54 lightweight, that is the difference between a good player and an excellent player. The person who he's cool under pressure.
Yeah.
He was under so much pressure with that whole horde of tanks coming towards him.
Yeah.
He was cool.
He just didn't panic. He thought, okay, I need to be there.
He probably even put a couple of shots in.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
So fantastic. We're going to be looking at our next map. Let's see what Schoolbus are going to try and pick up their winning game on. They have to win one of the next 5, believe it or not, starting on Prokhorovka.
Yeah.
Roulette will have to win 4 times on this map. We can see that the cap circles are divided by the railway. Earlier on, Arete made some very aggressive plays down towards the east of this map. What do you think the Schoolbus are going to do?
Well, I think there's going to be lots and lots of T-54 lightweights again. Prokhorovka, wide open map. Are they going to stick with the artillery choice? I think they probably will.
It's a sensible option on this map.
Definitely. It's there's plenty of cover for the artillery. There's loads of wide open views, and you've got an entire team of light scout tanks. Why not stick with the artillery choice? It seems to be working for them. How the hell are Roulette going to come back from it? I mean, Schoolbus have proven that you can't underestimate them.
They're winning in my opinion, their tactics are better.
Yeah.
They're winning in the group engages.
And the execution.
And they're also winning on an individual level as well.
Yeah.
I think we could be seeing a 5-0 here.
I think we are.
But prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. Roulette, get up there.
Come on.
Let's go.
We want more screen time, so you need to start winning games. Come on, Roulette. Do it for your Uncle Jingles.
But okay, so we're going to be looking at Prokhorovka, yeah?
Yes.
What do you think? You think it's T-54 lightweights being the dominant force, or do you think that you would choose something else?
I think we're still going to see it. Every game that I've seen so far tonight on Prokhorovka has just been dominated by T-54 lightweights. although I have seen a couple of AMX 1390s as well, because it's that kind of map. Because they've got the folds and the dips in the ground. You can zip out, you can fire your magazine, and then you're gone. And you're reloading in cover of the dips in the ground. So maybe I'd like to see some 1390s. I haven't seen many autoloaders.
I'd like to see some autoloaders as a counter for this T54 lightweight threat.
Yeah.
Schoolbus were heavily reliant on those T54 lightweights. Let's hope the Roulette, whoever's shot calling a Roulette, wakes up, makes the call, because he needs to make a lot of very good calls for his team now, as we're going to be going in to the first game on Prokhorovka. Here is Schoolbus versus Roulette. They are 4 games to 0. Schoolbus only need to win 1 of the next 5, and let's see what the setup is. Roulette have taken artillery. They're taking a tier 6 French artillery, the AMX 13 F3AN.
Schoolbus have mixed it up a little. They have 3 T54 lightweights, 2 RU-251 Speerpanzers, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs.
Unsurprising, the rest of Roulette's tanks, apart from that artillery, are the T54 lightweights. The attacking team is Roulette. They're going to have to win an assault.
And they're already taking damage.
This is
they're
rather
dealing it as well.
This is it. They're rather aggressive play. Whoa! Arclit has taken some big old hits,
he's
and
gone.
he is
He's
down.
gone.
They're focusing fire on the other Walker Bulldog. It looks like Schoolbus are wanting to give us that opportunity, Jinkles. They're
Come on,
2 tanks, but the health points are even.
Yes.
Fair enough. You've lost 2 tier 7 light tanks, but if you've got your health on your tier 8s, then you're doing okay.
The Schoolbus are defending. They can't afford to keep losing tanks like this. They've got to start looking after the health on the remaining tanks.
Those Speerpanzers have got gun depression.
And Schoolbus are still playing
takes
very
a swing.
aggressively.
I believe the artillery did a healthy amount of damage there.
Have a look at Nuclear here. He's gone right over the railway line. He can't afford to lose tanks like this, but he can get away with this.
He's winning one versus 2.
And if he can kill the second,
is just
he's done
confidence.
it. Has he done it? I think he might have done it.
He will. That's just confidence there, Jingles. They're just making outplays on an individual level. Schoolbus are going to get the win over Roulette.
Unbelievable. Look, we're not even 2 minutes into the game.
EU smash NA out the park, at least with regards to this round.
That play, though.
What an absolute drubbing.
Nuclear went on the defence, went out over the railway line and fought 2 T54 lightweights to a standstill. And
a ram kill.
Kill on the artillery at the end. How can you ask for more than that?
Schoolbus, Jingles' favourite now.
They may not be going to win, but I like them.
You say they're not going to win, but that was a very impressive performance.
It was, yeah.
And that is Schoolbus, I believe, going through their group.
Yes.
They won their first game.
Yep.
They won their second game.
So
they only lost 3 games out of the 13 that they played in their group stage.
They are through the group stage.
So congratulations to Schoolbus.
Now Roulette have to win their next 2 battles.
They do.
Yeah. And what's their opposition? Where is it?
You want to know what Roulette's are going to be playing?
Yeah.
Roulette's going to be playing Yato. That's the last game of the day that you will be casting on this stage.
Ooh, okay.
When Luke comes back.
When Luke comes back. Wherever he is.
So what did you think about the overall performance?
Can't really fault Schoolbus. I don't think they put a single foot wrong the entire game. And Roulette were not bad. But they just weren't as good at anything.
I think this was the most dominated matchup that I have seen.
I mean, we've seen other group stage matches where one team's won 5-0, but they've been close games.
Yep.
None of these were close games. I'm sorry, Roulette. I'm sure you gave it your best shot, but
it was their first game of the day.
Yeah.
Schoolbus had already played their first match of the day, so maybe that means that this was nerves. Maybe Roulette can come in strong against Yato in the last game of the day and still make it through the group stages. So not all is lost for Roulette. They still have a chance. Remember that Yato lost to Schoolbus, unless I'm mistaken, and that means that if Roulette beat Yato at the end of the day, then they're guaranteed to go through the group stages as well.
And they may have to face Schoolbus again.
So here we're going to be looking at the stream schedule now. Let's take a look. So this is the day 1 group stage schedule. We're looking at the results here. Na'Vi coming in dominant 5-0 against Elong. Rulette in a very, very, very fun, close matchup with Hellraisers. That was an absolute pleasure to watch. Then we saw Virtus Pro versus We Play Santa Claus and the Six Deers, winning 3-5. Finally, we have just checked out Schoolbus annihilating Roulette.
Yeah.
They did not pull the trigger this time, Jingles. 5-0. Next up, we're going to have Luke and Jingles. They will be casting We Play Santa Claus and the Six Deers versus Elevate. And then to finish off the day, it is make or break for Roulette and also for Yato Gaming.
Yeah, big game for those two. Whoever loses is going home.
It's very interesting in this kind of three-team group stage. If one wins against both teams, then it's very interesting in the way it's going to work. I wonder what will happen when it's a one-win, 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 you know? If each team wins one and loses one. Maybe they have to have a playoff, or maybe it's the team that won the most games. Or
It's at moments like this when I really wish I'd read the rules.
Okay, guys, so our next game will be starting at 6:50. That's an hour from now.
Wow.
So maybe me and Jingles can answer some questions.
Yeah, let's see the questions that you sent to us on Twitter.
Okay,
before
guys,
before we finish up for the moment.
I wouldn't want to let you down when it comes to the questions, so let's see if we can have some interesting ones. Jingles, just bear with me. I'm going to read through Twitter for a little
Sure, no
bit.
problem. And here we are live at the Wargaming League Grand Finals as Quickie Baby scrolls through his Twitter feed.
So Ian P asks, hey Jingles and Quickie Baby, great to see you two together on screen. Tell us, what's the most amazing thing that you have seen so far today?
I think that last game, the Schoolbus.
Okay.
That was wow.
Yeah. For me, the most awesome moment was the momentum shift where we saw the Russian wildcard team come across against Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
That T49 one-shot, it totally changed the momentum of the game.
It did, yeah.
The first ones were both defending teams won both
That's
games.
right, yeah.
T49 comes in. Good night, sweetheart. That's it.
And that was the first time the attacking team won.
That was it. That
Yeah.
was a momentum shift. So, Ian, thank you so much for the question. Yeah, that was my favorite so far. Let's take a look at some more questions. People are asking us whether we're going to be at Tankfest. Yes, we will.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Let's see if there are some more that are competition-based.
I don't know which day I'll be going to Tankfest, but I will notify everybody in advance.
The War Tuner is asking us, QB, do you feel that mediums could play a part in the roster on a Prokhorovka match? Mediums, hey? Where are they? See, the thing is don't you feel that the T54 lightweight is kind of doing what a medium tank used to do?
What's your alternative of the T54 lightweight? It's a better tier 8 medium tank than the T44, and it's not a tier 8 medium tank. So why would you choose a tank like the T4? What are the other options? A Panther 2? No.
Oh no, Panther 2, come on. Pershing.
Pershing? Yeah, maybe.
Bit slow though.
It's a bit slow though. Doesn't have the mobility.
I think it's 1390 or or Speerpanzer.
Pretty much.
Okay, here's an interesting question from Sam Weston. What do you think about the lack of tank destroyers in the Wargaming League Finals?
It's a no-brainer. You don't have a turret. Or if you do have a turret, you pay for it in reduced accuracy, aiming speed, rate of fire. It's just a no-brainer. This is why we don't have tank destroyers in modern armies, because tanks are better. Simple as that.
Also, their hit points are so much lower.
Exactly, yeah. They're easier to kill. They have disadvantages that proper tanks don't have. And
for example, let's think about an ISU 152. That is the biggest gun at tier 8, you know. BL-10 at tier 8, capable of 750 damage. That is the tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer. Now, when we think about it, if that can land a big shell in, it can be just as devastating as, for example, the T49 that we have been hyping up today.
Exactly.
However, once it's made that one shot, it doesn't have the mobility of the T49, it doesn't have the gun depression of the T49, and if the enemies get around it, it's dead.
No turret. So, yeah, the big gun, the tank destroyer thing is the big gun. But you have to pay so much in other areas to get that big gun. And why do you need 286 millimeters of penetration anyway? T54 lightweight.
You don't. Not at all.
Get a
Overkill.
T49 instead.
Only useful for maybe dealing with heavies, like an IS-3 that's slowly advancing towards you. But
of which we've seen one.
Yeah.
And there are other ways of dealing with heavies if you've got a team full of T54 lightweights.
Just as we saw the T54 lightweight going one-on-one with
the
a T32.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you're never going to see tank destroyers in this kind of event. They're
Yeah.
just too inflexible.
So, an interesting question from Yanko Chagorov, who is asking, QB, can you explain gun depression? How does it work and why is it important? Now, that is a very interesting thing. Gun depression is probably one of the most important stats about a tank. And you might be
Certainly for
thinking,
me.
well, what is it? Well, it's how far the gun can depress downwards. So, effectively, how far can a tank aim over a slope? Now, let's say that you're situated on a slope and you're in a tank with no gun depression, then you're not going to be able to shoot the guy who's on this slope. You're unable to get him. However, if you've got a tank with good gun depression, you're going to be able to peer your gun over the slope and then be able to engage him. Now, what that allows you to do is to only show your turret. And in World of Tanks, at least for the most part, turret armor is the thickest part of the tank. And so you are only exposing a small amount of your tank, which has a large amount of armor, against the enemy and still engaging them, hopefully shooting them in their nice, juicy, fleshy hull armor or in the side.
Yeah, gun depression is probably my favourite stat in World of Tanks, and it's the reason why I'm not a massive fan of the Chinese mediums.
So just to let you guys know what it's like, so basically the T-54 lightweight gets, I believe, 5 degrees? I think it'll be about 5 degrees.
Sounds about right.
Whereas a T-32 gets 10 degrees, so it's over double.
Tanks like I think the LTTB only gets 3 degrees, something absolutely terrible like that. I mean, it's practically, if you have an LTTB sitting right next to a Type 59, for example, the LTTB can only shoot the Type 59 in the turret.
Yeah.
That's how bad,
So-
and how important gun depression can be.
Like, me and Jingles, we've got YouTube channels, we do streaming together. It's just a case of you will have seen in our content just how important gun depression is. And it's no different here, really.
No.
There's a reason why the Walker Bulldog probably is so dominant as well. It's quite a big pick. So we are going to have to say thank you all so much for tuning in. I thoroughly appreciate it. Thank you for all of your questions. Hopefully you'll send more. I am going to be going now. That's my part in today, but I will be back tomorrow. I just want to say, Jingles, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to commentate on this with you today.
And we'll see you again tomorrow.
And we'll be commentating again tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much. We'll be back soon. Thank you, and have a